I pushed the #1 in the entire world in Clash Royale with a new broken deck which I just made. This Royal Hawk's Mighty Miner control deck is absolutely insane. I was able to beat the best players in the entire world. Actually, I beat Pedro. I don't know if you guys know Pedro. He's so good at this point. He was 37-0, so he was absolutely unstoppable. He was considered to be the best player. He's also considered to be one of the best players right now in the entire world. He also finished number 3 or number 4 in the CL warm-up cup, and he's just so good. He's just so solid. And as you guys can see, I play in a mortar deck, but I switched out 2 cards, and I will tell you guys about why I did that. So I put in the Royal Hawks, and also I put in the Earthquake instead of the Poison. Why do I like this deck? What makes this deck so solid and so great overall? It just like, I felt like I was struggling against all the Miner control decks. Miner control was absolutely everywhere. So I had to do the decision and kind of switching up my deck a bit. So I put in the Royal Hawks because I thought, okay, back then, I was actually in call with Sam. OP Sam, if you guys don't know, he's a really great guy. Also, look at the log, guys. It was absolutely nasty. Sam was super good back then with a different, with a similar deck, I would say. It wasn't exactly the same, but also like a similar Royal Hawks control deck with the archers. But so I was like, okay, Royal Hawks, they're pretty decent against Mortar. We got the Earthquake also, so this deck might work. So I gave it a try. I went absolutely crazy with that, and I pushed at the end to #1 in the entire world and beat Pedro. And I mean, if you beat Pedro, the Mortar specialist, the thing is like, Pedro is so good. If you beat Pedro with this deck, you beat everyone. He's so good. Like, he won snipes, he won against Mortar, Miner, arrows, he won against Loon arrows, he won against E-Giant Mirror. He's just so solid with this type of deck. So right now, we're just playing defensive, right? Using the defensive mode, he always using Royal Hawks. He doesn't have proper Royal Hawks answers. So, doesn't matter what he does. If he's using Goblins, we're gonna Log. If he's using a Mortar, we're gonna Earthquake. And it's just a really great job also. So, we're having a similar deck. We have the bigger advantage with having like the more, the bigger troops to break through. We have like a more power deck, I would say, but also for him, for sure, like in triple X time, Miner Poison can be really nasty. So, I'm just gonna cycle my Mighty in the back here. I think right now I'm just going to go for the log here. I'm also going to EQ here on this placement. It's fine, right? I just want to make sure that my archer gets a ton of value here. I'm now going to use my mortar defenses since I knew his poison was out of cycle. He's just going to go for the miner here. I'm just going to go for this here. I'm just going to go for the log. He just uses another poison, so his cycle is absolutely crazy. And what Pedro really likes to do is like going in for the mighty miner back, going for the poison first, and then just cycle as soon as he can. So he needs to go for defensive mortar, and as you guys can see, he's so low on elixir. He needs to go goblins now, and we're just gonna set up a mortar on offense, and I just want to keep up the aggression. So if you guys really good with this deck, and you like Fireblade in general, give this deck a try. I would say like I played this deck like 50 games. I won like 45, 46 out of them. So I would say the hard tough matchups for sure. Lava Hound isn't easy. I will also show you guys a Lava Hound game later on, which is not an easy matchup, but also it's not impossible to win. Also, I was struggling a bit against, I think against like Miner, Wallbreaker, Bomb Tower was a bit tougher, because Bomb Tower is pretty good against me. Also, the Remy Ellie deck was a bit annoying, but it's a kind of the difficult matchups, I would say. That E-Giant is really solid. This Mortar Miner deck is really solid. These are like the 2 most used decks at Clash Royale right now. So my job is to log here, and now I'm just gonna go here for an EQ here. EQ is doing an absolutely great job. Royal Hawks at the tower. GG's well played. We are taking this one, and I got to #1 revolve with this deck against the best players in the world, so it has to be strong. So guys, now it's my job to show you guys the matchup against Lava, because a ton of you guys will say right now in the comments like, yeah, this deck sucks against Lava. How do you beat Lava? You don't even have a poison. You don't even have a Delui. You don't even have a Phoenix. This deck is even worse against Lava than just a regular Miner poison controlling. I can tell you, yes. So it's about playing good. If you play good, you have a chance. Okay. He plays even like a tougher version, I would say. He has the Barbarians on ground, which are really annoying since we don't have a big spell. Really does well against the Mighty Man. He has the Skellies. We don't have anything against Skellies, so we can't defend Lava Skellies. We can't defend something different or like something similar. So I'm just gonna go in here for my Goblins at the bridge, and it's time about going for the Hoggies instead of opposite lane. He goes in for Skellies. Okay, we are able to get some decent chips. So what is important in this type of matchup? Cycling as many archers as you can. Get the archers on the map. If you don't get the archers on the map, you are struggling. So we do go in for the Mighty Miner here in the back. Mighty Miner is really cool to just get a free card cycle. This is the prime example. And I guess I'm just gonna go in for the archers here. And he didn't have arrows, so this is like really cool archers. I think he didn't expect me to go back to arrows yet, so I think I'm just gonna use the ability as late as I can. Unfortunately, the barbs go there, but also I'm going for an ice spirit here. And I'm just kind of praying that my tower won't fall, but it will fall. And you guys will tell me, guys, this is over, right? Like, how I'm supposed to come back this one, but I actually can. So he goes in for zap. He also goes in for an arrows. I mean, not the perfect defense, but also cycle was kind of awkward. I think this kind of only disadvantage with this type of lava deck. Sometimes you have an awkward cycle, and I'm just going to immediately go in for the mortar here and just try to get some shots. But how do I defend? How do I defend in double Lickstein? This is how I'm gonna show you. So I'm just gonna go for the goblins here at the bridge, just kite them. And right now I'm just gonna go for the mighty. Help me. He goes on for the barons, it's completely fine. And I think I'm just gonna use the ability. We still didn't get one tower, so I guess I'm just gonna use my archers now in the back, because I want to cycle as soon as I can back to another archer. So right now it's my job to just pressure him, but I didn't know how to pressure because I knew, okay, we would most likely get scale these values. So I'm just gonna go in for mortar here aggressive, because Warlocks would have meant a free Skelly Dragon. So this is his mistake now, because he goes in for arrows plus Skelly Ds. We do get almost both towers, and I have like now a good position. I'm just gonna go for this at the bridge, and now I'm just gonna go goblins. Also kite in fair dragon, go for archers low, white archers low, arrows are out of cycle. So we are still in this game. I'm just gonna go for the ice spirit here. I'm just gonna go in for my log here. Okay, to be fair, we got a bit lucky that it got pushed back, but it's a-okay. I'm just gonna go for the ice spirit here. Perfect ice spirit. Ice spirit is absolutely incredible, and we are still alive. We are still alive, guys, in this game. 856 life, and I knew I won this game. We don't have anything against air, but this is absolutely crazy. I'm just gonna go for the log here. I'm just gonna go in for my earthquake here. GG's, well played, and we just beat Lava Hound. Also, it's not like a random Lava Hound play. It was at 30 wins, so he has to be good. Next game up here versus Minikid, who is famously considered to be, at least back then, he was the best Electro Giant player on the planet. And yeah, I guess I just want to show you like the most common matchup with this type of deck. E-Giant is a deck which you face a lot. This Mortimer Control Deck is a deck you face a lot, and I think like Lava is just a hard matchup. So these are kind of decks I think I want to show you, and I think it's a really good mix I'm getting here. So I think I'm just going to go in here for my Hoggies, most likely at the bridge, and have my AQ ready in case he goes in for a cannon, but he does not. So, yeah, we're just going to go now for my archers. Archers. Okay, let's go. And yeah, I think it's just like about making sure the Golden Knight doesn't do Golden Knight things, because Golden Knight is actually the most annoying card in this type of matchup, because Golden Knight, I don't know, like Golden Knight is Golden Knight, right? You can do the perfect job, but if you do like one really small miss, Golden Knight absolutely destroys you. So, also, he has Bomber, so this makes the matchup a bit more difficult, considering to see normally you see, okay, I'm just gonna go for the Hoggies here, by the way, really smart Hoggies. I'm just gonna go for Archers. I could have played the Archers a bit better, because now one Archer will die, but yeah, Golden Knight, man, like Golden Knight is so annoying. So that was actually really smart of me. I knew like he could lightning that, but then I just go for Hoggies immediately to get some chip on the left side. But yeah, Mighty Miner High on the Golden Knight is most of the time to play, and you don't really want to play your Archers and the Golden Knight close together. I mean, with a Tornado, it's almost impossible to stop this kind of push, but I mean, it's always about trying your best. So I'm using my Mighty Miner here. Mighty Miner is actually really cool. And I think I'm just going to go now for my Hoggies at the bridge. And have my EQ ready. I think I'm just going to EQ this. Great EQ. And this time I think we get a decent amount of damage. He just goes in for the Bomber here. Bomber does a pretty solid job. But that's overall okay. And I think I'm just going to go Ice Spirit here. And now I'm just going to go for another Hoggies, because I know his building is out of cycle. So he needs to go for Phoenix here. And this is kind of where he's trying to get like a huge counter push. So he wants to defend and gets a counter push. He takes a ton of damage. Just the question is if I'm able to stop this kind of push. I'm just going to immediately go in for the high archers. Why? Baiting out the ability early is kind of important. And now I'm just going to go for Ice Spirit here. I need to go in for this. I'm also going to go now for another mortar here. And I think this was an absolutely amazing decision from our end, going in there for the the archers early and high. So I need to go log here. I'm also going to go for the goblins. And the goblins are actually defending this one. So, towers down to under 1k HP. And I guess I'm just gonna go in here for the EQ. Okay, I don't. I'm just playing a bit passive, so I guess I'm just gonna go EQ now. I'm also gonna go Ice Spirit now, and I'm just kind of just try to spell cycle him. I think this is over, right? I'm just gonna go for the Mighty Miner, and this is what you can do against 3-card cycle. Having Mighty Miner map, you just need to cycle 3 cards. GG's well played, and I think I want to show you one more game against a really cool opponent. So I think like the last matchup, I want to show you guys, and then you're able to go, right? You're good to go, guys, to go into Clash Royale and play this deck on your own and test this deck out of your own, is playing against Mega Knight. I mean, Mega Knight, a matchup where you can say, okay, it's really tough for me. Also, he has the balloon, so you're struggling. He also has the arrows. So how do you stop this dude? How do you stop Balloon Mega Knight? Pretty simple. So I'm just gonna go in for this here. I'm also gonna go for my archers here. Archer's doing a great job. I honestly didn't know what he's playing, to be fair. Like, I didn't know that. His deck looked really weird, but I was like kind of thinking it might be a Mega Knight deck. So I don't know. Like, if I just hope I don't go in for the stupid piggies, because this is Mega Knight, dude. Don't do hoggies, please. Don't do hoggies at the bridge. You don't do that, man. You're currently number 1 in the world, so you won't do that. I go for hoggies into a Mega Knight. Bro, why not just goblins at the bridge? So don't listen to that old never give up Morten Royale guy. Just listen to a new one. I would have just gone for goblins at the bridge, then cycle Log, cycle an Ice Bird, and wait. So I'm just gonna go for the Ice Bird here. Really perfect Ice Bird. And I think he goes now for a really interesting snowball. Yeah, this snowball was not good, because Mighty Miner, I don't know if he knows that, but Mighty Miner is absolutely broken. Kills everything. I'm just gonna go for goblins here at the bridge. In this type of situation, I need to instantly go in for hoggies on the left. Why? Because I know he committed so much elixir. So it basically means, how the heck is he gonna stop us? I'm just gonna go for a Log here. Ice Bird comes a bit early, but I can honestly just go in for archers late. Just take some damage, and having the archers on the left side, like being even on the elixir, is absolutely fantastic. So I guess I would just go now for the goblins at the bridge. Goblins at the bridge, man. It's like just a safe play. Play it a bit to the outside. You will always get so much chip. Also against balloon, you need to be careful a bit, because this is a really good balloon placement. I mean, mortar placement against the balloon, but sometimes when your opponent is playing with minions, for example, he's going to be able to play the minions and push the balloon to the outside. Then this mortar placement won't distract the balloon, and you will absolutely get destroyed and lose your tower. So I'm just going to use my archers here. Why I'm using my archers that early? 3-card cycle. Also gonna go for the Earthquake. No need for me to play the piggies. I'm just gonna go for the ability here. And the good thing is, I know if he's going now for the balloon, I'm gonna be back to another archers right now. So I'm just gonna go for the archers soon. Archers are coming down. Now I'm just gonna go in here for my mortar here. And I'm just kind of controlling the game. I think I'm also going to go for an EQ here, just to make sure I'm going to keep up the damage. I'm using my goblins here. I know, like, when he goes in for arrows on top of the goblins, it would be an absolutely horrible elixir trade. At the same time, he can't do that, since, think about it, since if he does that, he won't have anything against the archers. So I'm also guys going to have my piggies ready in case he goes in for an MK at the bridge. He just goes in for that, so I'm just going to go in for this. And I think right now, he goes in for an MK at the bridge. Does he go for an MK bridge? No, he does not. He still doesn't go for an MK bridge. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for my goblins here. I'm just gonna go use my Ice Bird here. I'm always trying to chip with the Ice Bird, man. It's like some damage. I'm just gonna cycle the Q here, since like I didn't really know what to do, and cycling a Q in a matchup like that is absolutely fine. Setting up my arrows in the back, archers in the back. He's just gonna arrow that. I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna cycle another Log and Kundi. It's just a chip game. I'm using now my Ice Bird once again at the bridge. He just uses an Archer Queen here. Archer Queen kills the Ice Bird in the last second. I'm gonna use once again here my goblins at the bridge, even force out minions. So I know I can't really use the ability now, because the minions are alive on the other side. So this can be really annoying. So what I'm gonna do right now is just gonna use my hoggies, use my goblins here, and now just use the queen. Why do I use just use the Mighty Miner now? And that was absolutely fantastic, since with this kind of play, I made sure that he cannot support his Mega Knight. I get a ton of damage, and right now just about getting the defense in. So I'm just gonna go for the mortar here. This is, by the way, the perfect mortar placement. If you guys don't want to play it high, want to play it safe, this is what Petro always does. And I'm honestly just gonna go for the hoggies here, because I know he needs to overspend. I can just go in for the EQ here, and I know one more EQ will finish off this tower. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Never miss any pro content just like that. And I just hope when you guys wake up that I finish number 1 in the world. I see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye.